What's up, weirdos? Shade Tree Surgeon here. It's one of our most favorite times of the year. It's time for the Renaissance Festival. I think this is like the 5th video we've made on the Ren Fest, so if you've been watching the channel for a while, you've seen this before, but it's always a good time. So Jessica's giving me a hard time about what I'm bringing to the Ren Fest because this time, if you bring 4 cans of food, they're doing a food drive, you get a buy one, get one ticket. And she said I'm gonna look like a total putz showing up with great value spaghetti rings and pasta, and of course the mini beef ravioli. She said I'm gonna look like a cheapskate. But I mean, if it's buy one get one, I mean, it's a food drive. Beggars can't be choosers, right? The real treat I got here is the Armor Treat canned ham, traditional taste. You know it's fancy because it's not a lunch loaf, it's a luncheon loaf. Put them pinkies out, baby. But anyway, she was giving me such a hard time about taking this there that she said she wasn't even gonna give it to the people. She said, you're gonna have to hand this to them yourselves. But I said, you know what? I believe in Armor Treat, so I'm gonna save one of these cans and bring a can of corn instead, and we'll cook this later and see how bad it really is. Come on, that looks delicious. Cheesy treat, added smoke flavor. This stuff has gotta be good. And of course, since I'm bringing extra stuff, and we might even bring some stuff home from the Ren Fest, I've gotta take basically what amounts to the fanny pack of motorcycles, the Ducati Multistrada, but it's got the storage, so... So the dogs are staying home. They're not going with us to the Ren Fest. But maybe we'll do a doghouse video next week or something where we take them out there. By the way, huge thanks to everybody who's gone over and subscribed to Jessica's channel, The Doghouse. She's almost at 6,000 subscribers, by the way. And if you didn't know, now you know. Jessica has her own YouTube channel. It's called The Doghouse. I'd appreciate it if you went and subscribed and showed her a little support. Didn't you get the memo to bring your sport bike, Jess? You freaking nerd. All right, well, the crew's all here. Jessica's getting ready. Flip showed up. Apparently, he didn't get the memo. We're going to the Renaissance Festival. And yes, people cosplay there. People like to dress up. But you're not supposed to dress up like Sons of Anarchy.
Right into this world, all alone.
What, you got YouTube famous and now you want to make fun of everybody?
Not everybody, just you, bud. I mean, I'll take what I can get, but definitely you. It started. It's always a coin toss with the old savage. All right, Andy from the Dirty Shame joining us. Always awesome. You guys, if you've been up to the races, you'll remember him. And if you've ever been to the Shame, he's definitely checked your ID.
Because you look like you're 12.
What, would they give you a hard time? They were like, this isn't real or something?
They asked to like see it again, and they like keep looking at it. I'm like, get the stop.
It's because you're wearing makeup and you're trying to look older.
Like, okay, if it was fake, would I say that I was 30?
Well, alright, if we're going out to do some nerd shit at the Renaissance Festival, it only makes sense that I ride my nerd bike. Yes, the Ducati Multistrada. It's basically like an Italian fanny pack. But hey, gotta transport all that Armor Treat tasty luncheon delight up to the Renaissance Festival to trade for some free tickets. And let it not be said that old Shade Tree Surgeon isn't an altruist. I like to do my part, and I certainly don't mind transporting some canned goods up to this food drive and giving some poor family in need horrendous diarrhea from canned ham. And believe it or not, old Shade Tree Surgeon loves all that nerd shit, wizards and dragons and shit that happens in outer space. It's my absolute favorite. I actually just got done reading 2 book series that I really enjoyed. It always feels weird talking about books on a motorcycle, especially a Ducati. It's kind of like, what the hell are you doing? Is this, Ducati book club? That sounds ridiculous, but I just finished up the Dresden Files and the first trilogy of Mistborn, and absolutely loved them both. If you're a reader and you enjoy fantasy, I highly recommend them. The Dresden Files is probably my favorite genre of fantasy, which is basically urban fantasy. So, fantastical stuff like fairies and wizards and everything like that, but living in the regular world. It's about a wizard who lives in Chicago, but he's also a detective. You just have to take my word for
for it. I know it sounds nerdy as hell, but it's absolutely awesome. Imagine like a traditional film noir detective wearing a trench coat, and except he's also can do magic. It's pretty cool. The Mistborn trilogy was pretty neat, but I wasn't a huge fan of the last book and how it ended. It felt frantic, and then the Deus Ex Machina at the end of the third book was pretty big. But still, a great series, and I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to reading other stuff that Brandon Sanderson has to offer. But as of right now, I'm actually rereading the Dark Tower series for probably the 7th time. And that's because a good friend of mine, Tanya Zarlengo, is reading the Dark Tower for the first time, and I wanted to read it with her, so every week when she comes up to the bar on Friday, we can have our little nerdy-ass book club meeting and talk about Dark Tower stuff. But after Dark Tower, I've been recommended a book called Old Man's War. Straight science fiction, but I'm looking forward to reading that. I love shit that happens in space, man, and it was recommended by friends of mine, Sean and Erica, who are actually watching the channel. I hope they're seeing this right now. Fucking love you guys. If you guys have book recommendations, by all means, leave them in the comment section. Although book recommendations are kind of hard to take sometimes because it takes so long to read a book and even longer to read a series, so it's such an investment of time that I almost never recommend books to people and say, hey, you've got to read this, this, and this, because most people who read regularly already have like a 6 or 7 book stockpile. Luckily for me, I'm a pretty fast reader, and I do a novel a week roundabout. But if you guys are interested in book talk and book club type stuff and looking for some great recommendations, one of my favorite booktubers, and yes, booktube is a thing. One of my favorite booktubers is this guy named Daniel Greene. He has a channel, he does book reviews, he talks about characters, he talks about sci-fi adaptations. It's really great if you're into reading, specifically if you're into reading science fiction and fantasy, which I am. And so if you are and you like to talk about it, make sure you check out Daniel Greene. He's a good dude, and tell him Shade Tree Surgeon sent you. And just to tie this all into motorcycles, one of the coolest scenes in the Dresden Files is when Harry Dresden, the main character, and his on-again, off-again girlfriend, who rides a Harley Davidson, do battle with a horde of demon fairies on the back of a Harley Davidson. It's pretty fucking badass. And one of the very few times that I know of where motorcycles and fantasy have actually collided. Ooh, I actually just thought of another time when there was bikers and fantasy, and that was in Good Omens, also a great read. And the other time that bikers and fantasy collide, of course, is when Shade Tree Army goes to the Ren Fest.
Okay, well, we've got our bags of armor treat, but Andy actually got us tickets to the Ren Fest, so we're getting in for free, but I'm gonna go ahead and donate this big bag of diarrhea anyway. Speaking of Tanya Zarlengo, there she is. If you've ever been to the Dirty Shame, you've probably seen her chair. Dr. Zarlengo has her name on the back. All right, the first mission whenever you enter the Ren Fest is find the first place that serves beer. And of course, we got Eric, who dresses up for Renaissance Festival. I told him he could come ride the Ducati up here, but he wanted to get drunk as fuck instead.
Dressed up? What are you talking about? This is what I wear every day.
Try it on, Flip. Oh my god, dude. Nomad Josh and Wizard Lizard Official also showing up. With her dad! How awesome is that? Rachel came in clutch.
But okay.
And I was gonna spend $100 on a mug, but she brought this one, so screw that. I know if you're surprised, but Eric, who is Tanya's boyfriend, by the way, Eric has a season pass. You get a medallion.
You do. It's worth the fucking price this is last year.
Oh, look at him. He's got all of them on there. Oh my god, he's got multiple in the medallions.
Where's your tail, you fucking nerd? Rest of all the rest of all the rest of these little things are all favors from like little Ren girl.
Rennies, he calls them Rennies. Where is your phone, Jessica?
Wait, I thought I just saw it.
Flip, just give her a fucking phone. I'm tired of waiting.
Oh, it's my phone? I thought you were talking about her.
You left your fucking phone on the table for like an hour.
Yeah, I looked at the table to like make sure we weren't leaving anything.
You weren't anywhere near it.
Feed the bird $1.
Warm.
It's fucking hot as balls out here.
I know. What do you think about February in Florida?
There you go.
There you go.
Come on.
You got it. Oh, almost.
Robbie keeps throwing axes, but Taylor's pretty stressed about it. But everybody keeps giving him dollars.
Oh, I got a wallet full of dollars, dude. I just went to the strip club. This is how you end up on the news. Shitty parent.
Make it over not.
So, hold on. Whoa. That race is not clear.
You got to pay extra for that.
Don't do this. Restraint.
Yeah. Oh, gross. Yeah, get in that mouth. It's great.
Look at it.
It's so gross.
Wants it so bad.
Look, here she is. Here. Oh,
Nope.
Oh, they know.
This guy, though. We got 20 on green, 20 on black. It's about to fucking go down. Black never
It's
wins.
not black. It's black and yellow, and it looks like Charlie Brown.
Huh? No, it doesn't.
That looks like Charlie Brown.
Boo! 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 Woo! Hit him! Woo! Boo! Get back up!
Big green boys, you know the big.
Woo! Ah! Woo! Woo!
Hold on.
Sorry.
Is he coming right now? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Oh man, this is the.
Other than the fact that I only have one left.
Ah.
Is there one pickle left? Dude, it was meant to be. It was meant to be.
Open. There you go. And now your turn. Open. There you go.
It's right in traffic.
Oh my God.
It's so romantic.
That's so romantic.
Wait, are you the lady or the
Well, no, it's good, but it's
Yes.
so fast.
Yes.
All right, that's how we got to end it. Come on. All right, back at the house, watching the dogs freak out over reflections on the ground. This is their favorite time of day.
That show was funny. It was fucking great. I'm tired of doing it. Oh, I met him in, where the fuck was I? Vancouver, actually. This night I did my special afterwards. And,
It's literally the reflection off Lala's collar. That's what he's trying to get. Anyway, as promised, I am actually gonna eat the Armor Treat canned ham. I saved one and brought a different can up to the Renaissance Festival. You know, if I'm gonna go ahead and pass this off and donate it, I might as well be willing to eat it myself. So let's see if we can't fancy this stuff up a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and see what this stuff looks like outside the can. Oh. So I'm gonna be honest, the initial smell, a lot like dog food. Let's go ahead and pour this out and see what it looks like. It's resisting. Oh, I hear it. It's starting. Oh, that is not making pleasant sounds. Ugh. Well, it doesn't smell very good, and it looks disgusting, and it's covered with some sort of gelatinous crap there. I'm not sure what it is, but you know, the can assures me that it is indeed human grade food, so we're gonna go ahead and roll the dice. Ugh. Bouncy. Alright, it's starting to look a little bit more like food now, but not a whole lot. It still smells pretty terrible. And in the interest of trying to make something edible, we're gonna go ahead and throw it in some teriyaki marinade. The rice is almost done. The armor treat is marinating, and it's time to go ahead and fry this crap up. What do you think, Jess? Is it starting to look like real food? No, it still doesn't look super great.
It looks okay. It doesn't smell good.
All right, next step in our spam sushi, or sorry, armor treat sushi, is to get the rice molded up. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but I'm gonna try sticking it in the armor treat can, and hopefully that actually, I'll be able to get it out of there and that'll make the mold. All right, so I really didn't think this through, and I'm not sure how I'm gonna get this stuff out of here. So, I don't think it's gonna slide out.
You can just use mine.
Oh wait, I might actually. Ooh, it's making the same sound that the other stuff did when it came out. Ooh, it worked.
Nice.
I'm smart.
Okay.
All right, well, let's see if I can assemble this and make it look somewhat appetizing. Well, I don't know. What if it does really get us sick? I gave it to people in need, so I've got to be willing to eat it myself too. Okay, so this isn't working out super great, but they look kind of cool. Right, well, here's the finished product next to our little Japanese tree for maximum class. Oh, wow. I mean, it looks cool, doesn't it?
It's like a dog treat.
It does, it looks like a dog treat. I don't know, it's probably gonna taste like a dog treat too. Oh man. All right, the moment of truth. What do they actually taste like? Probably terrible, but here it is. Armor treat, spam sushi.
Salty.
It's not very good. Kind of hard to tell the difference in consistency between the fake meat and the rice. It's all just as squishy. Ugh. Okay. I'm officially sorry that I gave that stuff to Metropolitan Ministries for the food bank. I'm a terrible human being. We'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, keep it weird, y'all.